Now, I think most people here are used to the woke and progressive left doing something incredibly stupid, not realizing it was stupid, and then getting just absolutely incredibly angry when it's pointed out why what they did is stupid. But I have never seen something so perfectly encapsulating this scenario, and it is absolutely a repeatable scientific proof scenario, as what has been dubbed the new guy meme. Now, for those unaware, a little less than a week ago, there was this comic artist that had made a comic from about a month ago. I will grant that. It's a little bit older, shortly after PewDiePie and his wife had their house robbed, in which the comic author's self-insert character, and yes, she fully admits that the purple-haired woman that I'm going to show the full comic for is her. She's laughing at how, oh, he absolutely deserved it because he's a douchebag. In comes new guy, a fellow employee whose name tag just says new guy. He asks what's so funny. She explains it. He says, how would you feel being robbed? To which she sarcastically says, well, I can tell we're going to be great friends. Really? Hell no. And it's just this level of douchebaggery that somehow exploded into a large chunk of the internet going, wow, you're a douche. The majority of people didn't even say anything directly to her or about her. They more repurposed this comic and gave nice versions of it and took New Guy and presented him as a character of empathy and compassion, which is what really upset the artist to the point where she just privated her entire Twitter account, because that's what you do. And it's not like this is the first time this author has apparently done this. I'm going to show another comic in which I believe this comic took place earlier, was made earlier, in which the author was talking to one of her customers, and the customer said that she's going to go to Chili's with her girlfriends, and the author assumes that means lesbian, to which the customer says, no, no, we're just friends. And then the author goes, oh, well, I am completely uninterested then because you aren't lesbians. Again, I don't understand how this person thinks that that's acceptable behavior in society or just acceptable mentality to have. How they don't view themselves as the villain. So the new guy meme got repurposed to basically spread love, compassion, empathy, to which the left, of course, went, oh, well, you're a racist, you're a Nazi if you use this. Why is that? Well, because the character is a skinhead. Because, yes, apparently now any bald person is a skinhead Nazi. This is the age we live in. Welcome to 2020. It's not gotten any better since the teens. The arguments I've seen for why this character is bad is hilarious. And I have seen some artists that actually know stuff, shocking, that have pointed out that the original comic author actually kind of screwed up too, because the character of the new guy looks very much like Seuss from Gravity Falls, if you've ever seen that, or insert big, dumb-ish, oafish character here. Usually those characters are made to be soft, round, gentle-looking. The big giant with a heart of gold, and you can instantly tell these characters by looking. It's because the way the human mind works is round equals safe, square equals neutral, and triangular equals bad, because pointy. It's very basic human psychology, and her character is very much the pointed one. There's a lot of points on her character, whereas the character she made for her straw man is very soft and round. That's not a hard, fast rule for art, but it's a very common one from a very base level. If you want to get across what the kind of character is in a very quick amount of time, that's usually what you do. This is why, an example, in Aladdin, most of the characters are, or the main characters are round, or you see a lot of circles on them. Aladdin, the genie, Jasmine, Jafar, he is very, very pointy. You can look on him anywhere. There are points everywhere on his character. Like I said, it's not a required rule. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it is one of those simplistic things that helps get a point across, which this author obviously failed because they don't know art. And then beyond that, I've seen calls of Gamergate, because of course, anything bad on the internet must be Gamergate's fault. Haha. And yet, just like in Gamergate, I can't believe these words keep coming out of my mouth, some nearly 6 years later, the author privated themselves, had their friends pimp out their Patreon, begged for money. One of the messages from the friends was literally, don't show remorse, don't show compassion, just give her money. I'm not even joking. So this is all a stunt. This is all just trying to get more money. This is the author just going away and pretending to be upset. Well, I'm pretty sure they are upset from people repurposing the character to be a symbol of good, but they aren't upset in that, oh, I'm getting death threats, oh, I'm getting calls for violence, oh, help me, help me. It's none of that, I can guarantee that. They want money, plain and simple. Like I said, this is just such a perfect encapsulation of every stereotype of the left, from the problem hair to the not knowing that you're the villain, to the good guy having just a normal basic human opinion. It was so stereotypical that at first people thought that it was made as a comic to poke fun at the woke left. But then they realized who the author was, and that turned around really quick. And look, my final point in all of this madness is, I can tell that the author has never been robbed before. Because I have been. And you don't wish being robbed on someone else. You can joke about a robbery. You can make robbery jokes. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying show some basic human empathy, for God's sake. Oh, well, he's rich. He can easily replace his stuff. It's the fact that you were robbed. It's the psychological effect it has on you. It took me years to get over the fact that I was robbed. I felt like I was not safe or secure anywhere. No matter where I was, no matter how many locks I had on my door, I felt like I was vulnerable at any point. And I've seen people argue, oh, well, he's rich, he can just afford therapy. That's not the point. The point is that you have been made less secure, that a part of your just being has effectively been taken. It doesn't matter the possessions themselves. It matters that someone has invaded your privacy and taken from you, and that they could take from you. That really fucks you up mentally, and that will stay for a long time. And the fact that you can't show empathy towards that, I'm not saying be friends. I'm not saying like them. I'm just saying show a base level of human understanding that that is not a good thing that happened. That's it. And they couldn't even do that. Several times that kept being brought up, and they just flat out ignored it. Their response was always, oh, well, he's rich. He can get over it. They don't. For people that seem to speak for the disabled or those with mental issues, they don't seem to understand how mental issues work. I really hope that a lesson can be learned here for the author, just to show some level of human compassion and empathy towards others, but I really doubt it. I think what's going to happen is in a couple weeks, in a month, they're going to come back, they're going to be the same old dickbag that they have been their entire existence, and they're just going to use this as a story they can throw around every time they want to try and pimp out their Patreon. That's all that's going to come of it. I am glad to see, though, that the internet has repurposed something vile and terrible into something nice and compassionate. That for as many people that say, "Oh, the internet is only a place of evil," I'm glad that this is something I can show them that absolutely disproves that idea. Just show some empathy. That's all I'm asking. Is that too hard? Apparently in 2020, for the correct people, it is. This is already starting out to be a fun decade. This has been Math Machine, asking those without hearts to have a heart. I see the issue in my logic here. Peace out.